Wow. They just don't get any lighter. Right, this is part 2. You've probably seen part 1 where we get excited because we found some brand new boards for this. And part 2 means I'm going to stick them in. And hopefully things will work for the customer. It's an old TV, but the new scan boards, if the screen is okay, they'll give it a new lease of life for quite some time. If I'm being honest, I'd probably rather have this TV than well, any new one that's around at the moment. Stick a Fire Stick in this, it'll be fine. Sorry, I'm not talking into the microphone. These just don't clip. They're fine. There is a chance that this board is okay. There is a chance that it's knackered, but seems we've got a brand new one that pairs nicely with the YSS. We'll stick it in. Sorry. You don't want my fat head in the way. Ba, 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 ba. see where this goes? Oh, right in front of you, Al. If you have a plasma at home, and I'm guessing lots of people watching this will have a plasma, they are still great TVs. But if yours is still working fine, once you've got 5 minutes this weekend, and it really is only 5 minutes, open up the back and tighten up all the screws. Whether you've got a Samsung like this, or it's a Panasonic, or a Hitachi, or a Bosch, or whatever it is, just make sure all the grounding screws here, on all the boards really, but especially these main scan boards and the ones on the right hand side, because they carry a lot of voltage and they do arc if they become loose, and they do become loose after time because of the amount of times that they expand and subtract when they get very hot, and they do get very hot. You'll be pleased that you did, because it's the #1 killer of the boards in plasma TVs. Loose ground screws. Tighten them up, and your TV will last. That's everything in, isn't it? I've done all the ground screws over the other side. But I'll just have a play while I'm here. So I'm just checking the screws on the X-main here. I know I haven't replaced the X-main, even though I've got one if I needed to. But it's just wise at this stage to make sure that every single screw is tight, because there's a lot of voltage that goes through these scan boards. I'm not going to stick the back on yet. I do want to test it, because obviously I can't be 100% sure that we don't have a screen fault that's caused these problems in the first place. And I'm pretty confident that this has just been a YSUS problem, and I think the buffer boards that I've changed have been fine, but since I've got a spare set of buffer boards, and a brand new set at that, this one's being a bit awkward at going in. I always thought they were better at going in. You do notice if these aren't clipped down very well, because you get a black line, a black horizontal line, or a big black piece of information missing, quite a long block. I think it's okay. Just doesn't seem as tight as the rest, but there you go. I'm pretty confident it is just a YSUS, but I won't know until I plug it in. We always used to say that a plasma was a two-man job. Sorry, I'd got two microphones on the go then, so there may have been an echo. Okay, well, one of the plugs that goes into the screen, you may have seen me faffing around with it. It's a loose connection. Well, it's not as tight as I'd like it to be. But anyway, switching it on, I hear a click. I hear a chime. I see the screen prime. And look at that. We have our picture back. Not got a feed in at the moment, but I suppose I might as well plug in a bit of snooker and see what happens. Samsung remote control. Just wait for my DVD recorder to boot up, and then hopefully I can switch the TV back on. Let's switch it to HDMI. Okay, found the remote control. It's a bit of a beast, but of course the picture quality isn't very good, very nice. I mean, look at that. What are we looking at here? 16, 18-year-old TV. There's no need to adjust the YSUS, the VA or the VS, because we tested those earlier and the voltage going to them was spot on, and that's why the picture you can see, I mean obviously you're looking at it through a different camera, but it is pretty much spot on. I've got to admit, that is pretty impressive, and it's back up and running, and probably will be for years. As I said, if I had a choice of, if I wanted a 50-inch TV, if I had a choice of getting this repaired for a few quid, luckily the boards were donated to me, or spending, £300 or £400 on a new one. I know the new ones are 4K and smart, but you can pick up a smart stick for 10, 20 quid, and unless you're absolutely 4K crazy, and the difference between HD and 4K is quite nominal. You've really got to put in the right 4K picture to be overwhelmed by it. I still think a good HD picture, well, I still think a great HD picture is as good as a good 4K picture. Sometimes better, and this proves it. It's heavy, it's bulky, but once it's sitting on your dining room table, or wherever you're going to stick it, probably not your dining room table, there's nothing wrong with it. Thanks to Mike for the boards. Customer should be very happy. Another one is repaired. Click.